Hey, my name is Z and welcome back to ZC Culture. Today we're going to be talking about being okay with being a minority in a space. Let's get into the video. Some people don't become a minority in a space until they're like in high school, college, or in the professional world. And it can be pretty shocking at first because you're not used to not seeing people like you, and you're not used to adapting to other people's environment. But to thrive in that environment, you have to adapt and be okay with being a minority in that space, because ultimately you are paving the way for somebody else that looks like you to come into that space. So I have some tips that you can use to gain that confidence and be able to thrive in those spaces where you are a minority. You will have to be at the top of your game. You will have to be at the top of your game in some retrospect. Even if it's not grades, it has to be in communication, talking to people, something like that. But you have to be at the top of your game to be even noticed if you're a minority. It's not to be noticed as in, I see you. It's to be noticed as in, oh, give that person an opportunity. When I came into one of those types of classes that I had, people would notice me, of course, because I'm a female and there's no other females there, so they noticed a clear difference. But for the teacher to say, oh, she's capable of handling a responsibility as like an internship, or she stands out in any type of way, you have to be at the top of your game, more than everybody else in the classroom or anybody else in the space. The next thing that you need to be aware of in these spaces is that you will be called on more than others. And it depends on the space. If it's a career space, if it's jobs, you're probably not as likely to be called out more than others. But if it's a school setting, you probably will be called on more than others, because like I said in my previous tip, you will need to be at the top of your game. The next thing to be aware of is that you will experience microaggressions, and depending on the space, it can be very often. In college, of course, people are coming from different backgrounds and probably never had a friendship with someone that is like you, so there will be microaggressions or stereotypes that they have grew up around. The biggest thing with microaggressions is being able to recognize them. Let me know if you want me to make a video about microaggressions, how to identify them, how to cope with them, how to address them, but I'm not going to go too far into that in this video. The biggest thing that you need to be aware of when you are a minority in a space is that you will have times where you want to give up. You will have times where you want to give up and you can't take it anymore, but you have to have your goal in mind and the reason why you're doing this. If you don't have your goal in mind and you're doing it for others, the reason for doing it may not be strong enough to push you to finish whatever you're trying to accomplish. When I am talking about minority in spaces, I'm not just talking about race. I'm talking about your ethnicity, your nationality, your cultural background, or your background in general. What needs to be understood when it comes to being a minority in a space is that it's going to be hard because you are the first person to do it, or you are one of the first to do it. Like I said earlier, yes, you are doing this for you, but it is also helping someone that wants to come after you and do the same thing. So it's helping the greater good, basically, or people that look like you. The number one thing when it comes to me and when I'm telling someone to help in some type of way, like being the first or one of the first in a space, is to not do it to be glorified. You are doing this to help the greater good, or help the people that look like you, or help yourself. You're not doing it to be glorified, and that should be your goal. If you get glorified because of that, that's just the add-on or plus to spread your name out there and help others, but that shouldn't be your goal, and that comes with helping in any type of capacity. I hope you enjoyed this video. It would be really helpful if you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out my channel and helps the message gets out to other people. And I'll see you next time in the next video.